Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the summary for the day of 659 for the 14th of December. Major developments again over at the Bakhmut Front. So at the Bakhmut Front, particularly in the southern flank, the Russian forces is fighting towards Ivanivsky. This is Ivanivsky in the north, and is now going into the northwest of Klishchiivka. Klishchiivka as well as the eastern part of Avdiivka. Ukrainian forces was reportedly counter-attacking over at Klishchiivka, and of significance is the development over in this area here in the northern part of Klishchiivka. So the Russian forces, if I overlay the maps from the previous SITREP, so you can probably see this the advancement. So the previous line was something is around here. The Russian forces have actually expanded and captured the entire forest region here, and captured more of this road out of Klishchiivka. So the Russian lines is currently something like this now, and they are gradually pushing out from this northern part or northwestern part of Klishchiivka. So things are getting a little precarious. I feel like I'm saying bad things about the Ukrainian army like almost every SITREP, but this just the reality. The lines are falling way too fast. This kind of advancement, we are talking about like 1 kilometer, around 1 kilometer deep, over the course of, I don't know, a few days. So it's really fast. The lines are falling really fast. If you think of the times where the Ukrainians are conducting their counteroffensive, the Russian lines did not really collapse this quickly, and this is actually very bad, which means that the Ukrainians are struggling very badly now. And what we have over here, so let me disable this. You will see that the Ukrainians do not have a lot here. They have some tree lines, some thinner tree lines, and this about it. These are the defensive positions, unless there's some trenches that we are not seeing. So these are the lines that the Russians have to capture. If the Russians are capturing this much in this fast fashion, then they will be able to go down all these lines pretty quickly. Then battles, the front line very soon will become to be like just off Ivanivsky in no time. So things is quite bad. We have a geolocation of Russian armed forces of infantry unit of blah 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 blah. So this is actually a dated geolocation of Ukrainian forces actually at this position. So anyway, this could also be not accurate because Ukrainian mapping have not really stretched into this far. This mapping is by the pro-Russian sources, so take it with a pinch of salt. But so far, lately, all these reports have been pretty accurate. So then there's also another geolocation over in the northern part of Avdiivka. So Ukrainian forces over here getting struck by Russian artillery. Other than that, I think it's FPV drones. Sorry, nowadays it's just FPV drones. Okay, artillery. So I didn't read wrongly. So over in the northern flank, there's also developments. The Russian forces is now concentrating a lot of their effort around from the lines from Vasilivka to Hryhorivka, Bodanivka, east of Bodanivka, northwest of Kromove, as well as west of Kromove. This is the main push. Particularly, the pro-Russian sources suggest it could be misinformation, in coordination with the Russian Defense Ministry, but they say that the aim, a lot of the aim is actually about Hryhorivka because, in their opinion, they say that crashing through Chasiv would be extremely hard, very, very difficult to fight due to the number of mines and mines, as in the where they dig hole, Minecraft, so this area here is extremely complicated geography. So they say that the likelihood is actually through Hryhorivka and try to go around it and just totally not fight it. So we shall see how this goes. I think that there could be merits to that, because if you try to capture Chasiv, it's almost like trying to capture yet another Bakhmut. And then after Chasiv, you're gonna have the Bakhmut ×2. So at Konstantinivka. So do you really want to really fight through all these things? It's just going to be like Bakhmut after Bakhmut after Bakhmut. Is it really necessary to go through in this direction? Really depends on how you think. So they probably are thinking about this direction and go straight towards the highway, to cut the highway. Yeah, so there could be a direction. I think that is a feasible thing, and go straight to Kramatorsk. And if they capture Kramatorsk and they go to Sloviansk, hit this way down, like I mentioned before, capture Hryhorivka, they cut off Siversk Front. Yeah, I think it makes a lot more sense than trying to capture Konstantinivka, which is strategically, honestly, it's important for the Ukrainians. It's not very important for the Russians, because yeah, once you cut off this road, you go straight down, you totally bypass it, everyone will have to redraw. All the Ukrainians will have to redraw, because there's no way you're gonna get encircled in that way. So yeah, so there's you don't really have to capture everything. It's not like go. Moving on, we move on away. We go into the Avdiivka Front. So at the Avdiivka Front, this is yet another of the major front line. The Russian forces continue their Avdiivka offensive, with fighting reported east of Novobakhmutivka, towards Badaichi, over in the south of Avdiivka, Zhevene, Pervomaisky, and Nevelsky. In particular, there is developments over at the region of Stepove and Badaichi. The Russian forces have captured these two tree lines, or at least putting at least the northern side one into a gray zone. So the Russians are going around Stepove, increasing from what I mentioned yesterday about capturing of this tree line. It looks like they are going straight for Badaichi. And if they go straight for the Badaichi, they swing down, they cut the road. Stepove is as good as gone as well, because the Ukrainians is not going to just keep going into this pocket and then get destroyed. It don't make sense. So the Ukrainian forces is currently holding Badaichi, and they are definitely trying to hold these tree lines and prevent these Russian advances. Geolocation of Russian forces over along the railway line in the direction towards Ocheretine also shows that the Russians have made progress in this area here. They are currently pushing in the eastern part of Novobakhmutivka. So this is currently happening. There's not much news about the south. They're just simply fighting at Avdiivka, Zhevene, Pervomaisky, and Nevelsky. All are fighting, but there is no details, in terms of the fighting around here. So that's it from the Avdiivka Front. We move to the Donetsk Front, which this is the Donetsk Front. This is yet another front line with major changes. Over at this area here, fighting is now concentrated over in the northern part of Marinka. We, in particular, overlaying the previous day, you'll probably see it. Give me a second. So you'll see that the Russian forces have actually advanced over in this northern part of Marinka, and Ukrainian forces is currently struggling. In terms of gray zone, actually, if you look at pro-Ukrainian mapping, the gray zone that they drew by Deep State UA stretch all the way to this area here. This entire area here is considered gray zone. So which means that the Ukrainian forces may not have a very strong defenses within this area here. They probably sent in detachments to try to hold the Russians. Well, the main line of defense is actually around here. This is actually the main line of defense. And I don't think there's anything around here. I don't think there's anything around here. So other than mines, the fighting concentration is now over in this northern part where the Russians are making the main push. So we move on over towards the south. There is geolocation of this drone footage of Russian forces storming this defensive position around here. And based on the description of the footage, they allegedly have captured this defensive position south of Marinka, and they are heading towards Boyeda. And as in this area here, there is also other further frontline changes over in this area here. You can see that the Ukrainian estimated line has a fallback closer to Boyeda, and over in the south here, you can see that we have confirmation of the Ukrainian forces continue to hold position at Manageri, so that this actually forced the Russian lines backwards in our mapping. And also that previously the Russians have reached the outskirts of Novomikhailivka, but it seems like the Russians are unable to hold this position. As you can see, there's literally no place to hide, so the Russian forces have actually fallen back over in this area here, so which is why the front line have actually fallen back. So let me disable. So now it's clearer. So the Russian line is currently along almost along the tree line, and they are holding a standoff position from Novomikhailivka, and they are still attacking. They are definitely still attacking Novomikhailivka in this region here, particularly also in the north, with geolocation of yet another fighting around this southeastern part of Boyeda, with the Russians also attacking and trying to spread out in this area here. And they are also, which means that they're attacking from the north of Novomikhailivka, trying to push all the way down, try to flatten the front line towards the settlement. However, there is a high ground entrenchment around this area here. You can see that there's a pre-war entrenchment, and this area here is somewhat of a high ground, not very high, but still high. This is a strategically or tactically important point where the Russians is trying to capture, so that from this area here, then they can actually conduct a good attack towards Novomikhailivka. If not, with this position, the Ukrainians can always do counter-attack to push back the Russian forces. So it is somewhat of a tactically important area over at this place. So there is nothing over at the Voleda and the Novodonetsk region. We move on over into the Orikhiv sector of the Zaporizhzhia Front. This sector here has went pretty quiet. There's only one report coming out from this area here, which is the Russian attack in the northwestern part of Verbove, with the Russians attacking in this direction, probably trying to capture this area here. The battle is raging in this area. Suddenly, the fighting around this area was not reported, so we shall wait and see. The other fighting over at the Zaporizhzhia Front is over in the northern part of Prione. So the Russian forces is counter-attacking. Yesterday, we reported that the Ukrainians attacked in the north, so now the Russians counter-attack. So yeah, it's going to be this to and fro thing. I don't think we should pay too much attention about it. I think it's not very important. Over at this Kherson Front, at the Kherson Front, the Ukrainian forces continue to hold the beachhead over at Krinky. This time around, the latest information is that the Russians attacked from the east of Krinky, and forcing the Ukrainians backwards towards the center of Krinky, with some of these injured soldiers getting evacuated over to the northern part of the Dnipro River. History Legend made a very good video summing up the entire story of this battle along the Kherson Front across the Dnipro River, particularly over also talking about Krinky. So you may want to go and watch it. And Deep State UA came out with a very interesting post. Deep State UA, the pro-Ukrainian source, reported that the operation at Krinky is all about the heroism of the Ukrainian soldier. The operation is all about heroics. It's all about being a hero. So now you know why they are there. They are there to be heroes. So I have no complaints about that. I think that is pretty much sums up the foolishness of the operation. So we move on. We have over at the New York Front. So at the New York Front, there is no fighting. There is fighting actually. There is fighting reported over near Kirovo. The Ukrainian forces continue to push from the Prinishine, probably towards Mayorsk. And remember about the flag, the Ukrainian flag that was raised on this hill. So apparently, Deep State UA have said that the flag that was geolocated by military summary taken by the Russian forces is actually from the hill. Deep State UA say that the friends posted videos over in the blue and yellow flag, with a blue and yellow flag. Just say Ukrainian flag lah. Why say blue and yellow flag? And anyway, there's so they removed from the slag heap of the Gagarin mine, which is actually this mine, and then the Russian forces regained control over the slag heap. So that puts the entire PR thingy into some kind of stability, because the flag was only there for a day, and then the Russian forces basically have stormed in and took the flag, and then took another video to step on it. So yeah, whatever it is, heroes. Hero Yam Slava. So we go into the Stepove Front. At the Stepove Front, there is geolocation of Ukrainian forces in the trenches getting hit by drones. So just confirming that the Ukrainians are there. There is no fighting reported over this area here. I'm so disappointed with the Russian Stepove offensive. It's basically over. Over at the Kreminna Front, this is Kreminna. At the Kreminna Front, the Ukrainian forces was reportedly attacking over in Toske and the Serebrenske forestry. The Russians attacked in the eastern part of Terny. So that's about it. Nothing. This is a continuation of what we already has been seeing for some time. Nothing over at the Stepove Front. We move into the Kupyansk Front. So at the Kupyansk Front, the Russian forces continue their Kupyansk offensive, but only in one place, at Klishchiivka. Ukrainians also counterattack in this area here, so there's not much to really talk about. Geolocation of the front line in the northern part of Klishchiivka, which is pretty much the same place where we previously saw the video of the Ukrainian tank basically spamming at the ground. So this is actually where it is. The fighting is still in that area. So otherwise, there is nothing much over in this front line. Nothing much was talking about because the concentration now is mainly over in the Kupyansk Front. In the Bakhmut Front. So that's it. There's one more thing. The Russian forces fired Kinzhal, the hypersonic missiles at Kiev and an air base over in Staro-Konstantinov. So particularly over at this one, it was reported by Ryaba to have hit. This base is the same base that was which the Ukrainians used the Sukhoi 24s to launch the Storm Shadow missiles, which is why it became a target. There is rumors that there are Patriot missiles or Patriot batteries, surface-to-air missile systems. I don't know. I haven't seen them since a long time ago. The Ukrainians say that they shot down one Kinzhal. So this Kinzhal that was shot down was over Kiev. So anti-aircraft missile unit of the Air Force of Ukrainian Armed Forces shot down one Kh-47M2 Kinzhal in the Kiev region, which means that if the information about the Patriot missiles was true, which means that is probably newly sent to Kiev or sent to Ukraine. I believe I read it was from Germany or something. So, which means that they again place the Patriot missile battery in the capital, which also shows the priority of the Ukrainian government, that protecting the capital is their number one priority, and not the air bases. So anyway. 3 was reportedly launched according to the Ukrainian Air Force. This is the Ukrainian Air Force Telegram channel. So they say that they launched, they detected 3 Kinzhals. They shot down 1 over Kiev, which means the others got hit their targets. So take it anyway you want. So that's about it. So yeah. So if the Patriot is the only one that can shoot down any of these Kinzhal hypersonic missiles, then yeah, everywhere else is going to be open season. So this is the summary for the day of 659 for the 14th of December. Do press the like button, subscribe, and for those that are on Rumble, all the missing SITREPs has been uploaded. You can check it out, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next update.